Hello everybody, it is Skull Queen and welcome back to another video. I am finally going to be completing the beaches today, which has been such a long time coming. I'm sure most people can relate, but the beaches are always just so difficult to decorate and I never know what to do. But I decided to stop procrastinating and I finally tackled it today. So I hope you guys enjoy. Per usual, I'm going to be speeding up the footage, but I will keep most of it in. I'll cut out the boring stuff like me searching through my storage, but I will be popping in and out to give my thoughts. So I hope you enjoy. Going into this, I knew I didn't want to do some kind of huge extravagant build. What I mainly wanted to do was continue on my haunted bear theme that's on the left side of my beaches onto the rest of them. And if you aren't already aware, on the left side I have a lot of bears with varying colors and sizes, and I have a lot of them placed on the beach along with some custom designs and hyacinth lamps, and I really do like how that area came out, so I wanted to continue that vibe but add some more of the new items so it looks a little bit more refreshed. And you can see that I like to place a lot of the large items first and then I move on to a few of the smaller details. This entire right side of the beach was so daunting to me just because there was so much vast open space and I had no idea what to fill it with. So what I began doing was just placing the items that had the most height, and I tried to spread those out as best I could so that as you're walking down the beaches, the heights of the items are varying. And I really like placing this custom code underneath the decayed trees, so I began placing a few of those over here just to take up more space. And I really do think that adding the custom code underneath just adds to the overall impact and even makes them look a little bit fuller. It was about this time that I remembered that pathing exists, and if you ever need to fill up a ton of space on your island, use your pathing. This was seriously a lifesaver for me during this whole entire build. I actually end up continuing this pathway all the way to the back of my island and even along the front towards the middle along the front of the shopping district. I add some more pathing there, and I know it's not the most fun to watch, but a lot of people do like to see the process just to see exactly how it's done, so I will leave it in. I am sorry if it's not so fun for you, but I promise that it makes the biggest impact, and I'm telling you guys, custom codes and pathing makes an island. So yeah, enjoy. Once I had most of the pathing down, I was feeling so much better about this entire area, so I decided it was time to start placing some of the teddy bears down, and I was actually kind of running low on bears at the start of this build, and I just did not feel like time traveling and doing all of that, so I just made do with what I had, and to be honest, I think it forced me to use some items that I probably normally wouldn't have, and it just added to the overall dimension, and I think it came out great, so having less bears was not an issue in the end. While this is playing, I just want to pop in and talk about what my next island theme will potentially be. So right now I'm torn between two themes. My main theme that I think I might end up going with is a post-apocalyptic zombie dystopia. And I think that'd be really fun because the whole city vibe is something that I'm not used to. It'd be a lot of straight lines, a lot more organized, but also kind of abandoned and haunted. I think it'd be really fun. And my second idea is hellcore, and I think it'd be really hard to pull this one off because I think I'd be limited in the amount of items that I'd be able to use, but if I could make this entire island look like hell, wouldn't that be so cool? I think that's so unique, and if I could pull it off, it'd be amazing. I just don't know that I can. So I actually did a poll on my Instagram asking you guys if I should do hellcore or a zombie dystopia, and it was seriously 51% dystopia, 49% hellcore. So that doesn't help a whole ton. I think I am probably going to go with the dystopia theme unless anything changes, but I would love to hear your thoughts. Even if you have a completely different theme in mind, just let me know. For this little back area of the beach, I thought it would be fun to have this little castle gate that you have to walk through, and I also placed a pergola back there just to take up some room, and you can see that I'm decorating with some of these glowy moss balloons, and then towards the back of the beach, I end up putting a little kind of ritual area / sacrificial area back there, and you'll end up seeing that, and I think it came out really cute. And you know that I like my black magic. I just can't help myself. There always has to be a ritual or a summoning circle or a spell or something happening on this island because it is evil core after all. This is my first time ever actually using a wheat field on my island, and I do love how they look and they are a great item, but I think ever since the update they're a little bit overused, so I didn't want to have them all over my island, but I thought they'd be perfect on this beach because it is supposed to be a little bit more overgrown and abandoned. And then back towards this back corner, I decided to place a suspicious cauldron and a little blood splatter along with a victim because this island can never have enough victims. You have to keep it going to keep the spells going. So that's what we got going on. I'll be honest, I really didn't have too many high hopes for this whole back area, but I am proud of myself and how good this turned out. The anatomical model behind the suspicious cauldron is just chef's kiss to me, and then I have a little skeleton that's controlling the cannon, so any intruders that try to come and stop the sacrificial circle will of course be executed. And then I decided to place a few more accessories like candles and of course some custom codes. Now that I was happy with how that back corner looked, it was time to continue on with the rest of the beaches. So first, I actually wanted to add a pathway leading up to my campsite just because some people have gotten lost because my island is a cluttered mess. What do you know? And then I added these custom designs on either side of the bridge just because I love how that looks and I wanted to add something right there in that little island. I continue adding some more custom designs and a few smaller decorations, and this is my favorite part of any build because it all just comes together. The final layer of this build was adding some glowy moss and fencing in the spaces that were a little bit more empty, and this really just made everything come to life. I know I've said it before, but I will say it again, the glowy moss is just so good. The fact that we can run right through it and not have to worry about it getting destroyed. Also, I wanted to add this pathway leading up to the dock just because I realized that I didn't have anything and I didn't want anyone getting lost, so I added that and then back to the fencing and glowy moss, and I just love it. I love how this whole area came out. Okay, I thought the final layer was the fencing and glowy moss, but it's actually just me walking around and placing a few final custom codes wherever I see fit, and I promise after this it will be done. I really hope you guys enjoyed the process, but stay tuned and I will be going through the final walkthrough. All right, the time has come for us to take our final walkthrough, and I am so happy and proud of how this whole area turned out. We do have a lot of the pillars, which I had no intention of using at the beginning of this build, but I'm really glad I did because they just add to the witchy vibe that I'm going for. On top of the pillars, I have different illuminated items. We have some decayed trees along with the bears that like to come out at night and keep watch of the beaches. Once we cross this bridge here, you will find a path that takes you either to my campsite or you can head down here, and this beach is decorated pretty similarly, except this one happens to have some wheat fields as well. We have some skeletal remains, more bears that like to come and keep watch, and the glowy moss, which is just so good. I keep saying it, but it's true. And there's Celeste, who also happens to like the haunted beach. I stan. On the deck, I kept it pretty simple. I don't know if I'm going to come back and give Cap'n any more decorations. But as we head back, I do like how the varying heights look as you're approaching them. We have the giant vine, the giant teddy bear, this baobab tree or whatever it's called, and then once we start approaching the back, this is my all-time favorite spot of this whole build. I love these staggered decayed trees, especially with the custom codes underneath. And you cross this little gate, and this is the secret sacrificial circle. So this is where you come, and you probably aren't going to be leaving once you make your way back here. That's gonna do it for today's video. If you're still here, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing to see more videos from me in the future, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!